in the herd. So propaganda is of huge importance to the deep state, you might call it, because the thought is what gives rise to the action, and you don't even want people thinking. I mean, first you have a thought, and then you say something, and then you have an action. So you don't want people to think out of the box or say anything that runs counter, because, God forbid, they might take action at that point. But I can't help it. I was born a contrarian.
Well, we've got to be contrarian when you're dealing with a bunch of crazy control freak nutballs going against common sense. I mean, this is about victory over the truth is what the statists are pushing. Victory over common sense, victory over reality. We must counter them. And people think you get heat when you do that. Sometimes you do, but when people are sick of the globalist, folks actually come to your aid. When everybody's already sold out to the system for so cheap, it's good to go against it, even if you're not moral, folks. In my experience, at this point in the game, it's not good to go along with a train going over the edge of the cliff, Doug.
Well, not only that, Alex, but you've got to live with yourself. Sure, you can run with that stupid herd of wildebeests out there, and it might give you some protection from the predators
for a while,
hunting you for a while. But, if you're intelligent and moral, you've got to live with yourself. And that means you have to do the right thing regardless of what the consequences are. So I'm not interested in being just another one of the stupid wildebeests out there that running with the herd.
Yeah, humans are not wildebeest, but they're trying to engineer us into that component so that we can be fed on as the herd. Because with humans, being in the herd doesn't even afford the safety of a wildebeest or of a schooling sardine.
No, you're right. But the people that like to control other people want to see us all as milk cows.
Exactly.
Where, we'll stand there and let them take 40 or 50% of what we produce. And if things go a certain way, they might even turn us into beef cows.
That's right, feeding cows. Thank you, Ron. Ray in California, you're on the air with Doug Casey.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, first of all, I want to state that I believe this is all containment for extermination, like I said before in other comments. Next point, for the United States, they want a bio-Holocaust, which I believe is a subsequent nuclear Holocaust. Ukraine as to Syria. And I want, the question is what do you think Putin's going to do now that he has to fight this thing on two fronts, Ukraine as to Syria, then Iran?
Well, look, if I was a Martian, and I came down and looked at the situation on this planet at this time, I would hold Putin to be relatively, I mean, sure, he's just a politician, and he's basically the dictator of Russia at this point and so forth. Yes, I'm not saying he's a good guy, but I'll say this, that if I was a Martian and looked at the situation objectively, I would have to put Putin on the right side of these issues, and the U.S. on the wrong side of the issues. And it's a very sad thing to have to come to that conclusion.
Well, the Martian would also conclude that there was a technocratic, scientific, anti-free market elite that was playing humanity off against each other in balkanization and trying to dumb down and hurt the species as a prey animal. And the Martian would conclude that we have a predator species or a parasitic species, a subgroup of humans, sociopaths, psychopaths, the opposite of chivalry, literally growing like a cancer through human civilization.
Alex, that's an interesting point, because actually you could make the case that people may be speciating on mental grounds, because some of these people, like, well, you mentioned Rachel Maddow, I could no longer mate with her intellectually and philosophically than I could mate with a chimpanzee physically. I wonder if people are actually speciating mentally.
Let's do one more segment.
But it's observation.
Can you go to the bottom of the hour, just 10 more minutes?
Mm-hmm.
All right, break. We'll come back, 6 more minutes. I want him to finish on that. The so-called global elite believe that they are splitting off into another species. You can look that up in London Guardian, you name it. This is their delusion. Well, then they're degrading into something not as good as we were, because I just can't imagine wanting to dominate and wreck everybody and dumb everybody down. But you don't just see that in the so-called elite, you see it in the general public as well.
My Magic Mud is a tooth whitening powder that removes plaque and detoxifies your mouth. It's safe for your enamel, giving you a beautiful polish and a dentist-like clean after every use. My Magic Mud is also the perfect remedy for pain caused by sensitivity. It strengthens your teeth and gums for a strong, healthy smile. The ingredients are 100% natural and it's safe for children. Simply brush with My Magic Mud right before bedtime for a cleaning you can count on. Visit mymagicmud.com.
Newsflash. Home invasions are on the rise. It takes less than 10 seconds to kick in a door. 10 seconds is not enough time to protect your family. And what would happen if you're not home? Easy Armor is the ultimate security solution. 85% of break-ins are through a door. Protect your home now with Easy Armor. Go to InvasionStopper.com to get real security for under $70. That's InvasionStopper.com. Easy Armor. Your security is our only business.
DNA Force. When cells become toxic, they die early and aging sets in. DNA Force. No one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. Just one of the key compounds, BioPQQ, is backed by major clinical studies. DNA Force. We now have the synergistic solution. Secure your DNA Force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. DNA Force. Tell folks how you got introduced to Super Male, and then when Super Female came out, tell us what happened.
After I saw such a huge positive change in my husband, I had to try it for myself.
Talk about the effects.
I feel great when I wake up in the morning. I have drive to go to the gym. I feel like I look better. I feel better. I feel sexier. I love it. Even if you don't believe in supplements, take the challenge. Get a bottle of Super Male, a bottle of Super Female. Check it out for yourself. Consult your physician. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today. This is life-changing.
If you have candida overgrowth, just taking antifungal agents or starving yourself of sweets does not address the cause. Candida overgrowth is the result of a toxic, damaged, acidic, low oxygen, and inflamed tissue environment. The goal should be to remove the toxins, heal damaged tissues, restore healthy pH, eliminate inflammation, and feed beneficial bacteria. Previous usage of antibiotics or steroids or exposure to mercury or other toxins can damage many cells in the GI tract and body that make you prone to candida overgrowth. Removing toxins and healing tissues should be the goal. One World Whey is a whey protein food that supports detoxification, repair of tissues, and elimination of inflammation, healthy pH, and growth of beneficial bacteria. One World Whey is duly reformulated to be higher in protein and lower in carbohydrate. We believe One World Whey is an excellent food to support your efforts to create a healthy internal body environment. Call 888-988-3325 or visit oneworldwhey.com. That's oneworld.com.
Listen up, all you preppers and survival enthusiasts. Sigma 3 Survival School has a brand new survival instructor training program that will teach you everything you need to know about survival and then license you to teach our survival programs so you can make a substantial profit from it. If you have always wanted to learn to be completely self-reliant and would like to make money at it, then check out Sigma 3 Survival School Survival Instructor Program at survivalschool.us or call 479-561-3886 today.
Hey, Boomer! I learned in school today that 60% of our bodies are made of water. Good thing we have the Berkey system. It's the cleanest, best water ever. Mom says it's because the Berkey's filtration system cleans out the bad stuff and leaves only pure, delicious water. I know, right? You love it too. Yeah, I'm thirsty too. Let's go get some. Get Berkey clean water by calling 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653. Or visit GoBerkey.com.
Well, I've been watching and I've been waiting. Now we're back live, broadcasting worldwide. It's the Alex Jones Show with me, Alex Jones, your host. Coming up, we break down an extremely powerful film, The Congress, dealing with a psychotropic dictatorship that I think is near future in many respects. Final segment with Doug Casey, CaseyResearch.com. Really appreciate him joining us and spending so much time. Finishing up your point about speciating, or the species breaking into different groups, that's what, quote, liberalism or statism, it promotes not having children. It promotes anything that degenerates society, I mean, I guess you said it earlier, they want chaos because then they can manage it. But it really does seem like a hateful group overall, those that support statism.
They really are. They're just destructive people. And I hate to use the word evil, which has become so degraded and used so loosely. But what is evil? It is the willful destruction of something that has done nothing to deserve being destroyed.
That's right.
These are just horrible people. You know, there's something called Pareto's Law, the 80-20 rule. And my opinion is that, 20% of your salesmen do 80% of your sales and so forth. There's many applications of the 80-20 rule or Pareto's Law. Now, I'm of the opinion that 80% of the human race are basically decent, get along, go along, okay people. And then you got 20% that are like potential trouble sources. They can go either way. And then you take 20% of that 20%, or 4% of the population, and these are just active, destructive sociopaths. I mean, they're just snakes. And then you take 20% of that 20%.
Psycho.
And the kind of people that become high government officials and lead the CIA and the NSA and so forth. They're real sociopaths, psychopaths. So I think it breaks down kind of that way, according to Pareto's Law.
But then there are the type of people that just disgust and disdain the sociopath control freaks. But the problem is those type of individuals are usually lone wolves, something demonized, who just want to lead their own lives and don't want power over others. But usually those type of folks have to be absolutely attacked and suppressed until they finally rise up and historically end up crushing the parasite.
Yeah, that's interesting, because at this point, let's say 50% of the people in the U.S. have been transformed into whipped dogs because they're living off the state. But not everybody's a whipped dog. You've got something that's worse than a whipped dog. And I call them running dogs. And those are people that are working for the state because it's in their best interest. And then you've got these top dogs on top of everything. And I don't know how many there are, maybe 1,000 people in this country that presidents of top universities, heads of big agencies, top generals, very top politicians, congressmen that have been there for many years, heads of committees. These are the top dogs, and these are the real sociopaths in society, and they have control of it, and they're everywhere. Guys that run big corporations and so forth that have risen to the top, not because they're productive, but because they're good at corporate politicking, backslapping and backstabbing is the way corporate politics work. So,
sure, they're the types at General Electric that pay Obama to put him on the head of the council to shut down all the power plants they don't own and then double their profits in coal power plants because all their competition's shut down. They make money out of insider scams and destroying productivity, not out of trailblazing.
Yeah, you're right. And I know we could talk about conspiracy theory, and I know that you're much more into it than I am. My own opinion is that it's hard enough for 3 or 4 friends to decide what restaurant to go to.
No, I agree. It's a conspiracy of culture. It's birds of a feather fly together.
Well, yeah. I don't believe that there's a guy with a white cat that's controlling things, but these guys all go to the same schools. They have the same philosophies. They have the same views on life. They go to the same clubs.
There's a consensus.
Yeah, they're a bunch of guys that they scratch each other's back. And unfortunately, they control the society at this
And
point.
we've got to identify them. They want us to look at their puppets. We need to look up past that to the actual heart of it. Doug Casey, thank you for the time. We'll be talking later this afternoon, sir. Thank you so much.
Alex, it's a real pleasure. Thank you.
Your calls, ton of news coming up.
We're on the march.